furnace. Okay, so that was the furnace. Sump pumps here. The pump is way back there on the far side of the house. All the way in the opposite corner. This was the walkway out your mom was very interested in. The ceilings down here are probably 10 foot, and then probably 8.5 foot under the center beam. There's brown stains on the ceiling. Your mom thinks those are crayon. There's the living room. So one thing we did notice is here you're getting some rot in the door frame. You're getting some rot in the door frame from moisture. That one's not open. And these are on the French doors that lead to the deck. So you come in here. So we pulled the covers off of here, and everything looks fine, looks normal like it should. But they just did it this way. And what we think is there's a stud here, a stud right here, which means there isn't room for a 3-slot box. So that's why they did it this way. There was probably better ways to do it, but without having the actual physical space for the box, they decided to do it this way. That can probably be fixed. So these windows do not have screens. There's only one handle for all of them to open them and close them, but there's some issues here. Not as much of an issue here. Then the wood frames got painted a little bit. It looks like something before the white. It was red before the white. And then there's the handles are missing. You know, just the decorative actual covers of the handles. And like I said, the strings are gone. This bedroom is the only bedroom that has this kind of carpet, and they just carpeted around something at some point, so it's not complete. Carpet, like we talked about the other day. Bathroom number 1. Again, you got paint on the wood frames, which is kind of minor, and you're missing the pretty little cover. I'm guessing there wasn't enough space here for the cover to fit. So in order to do this fancy drywall plaster thing, they had to take that off. Again, no screens. This is the only damage in the decorative drywall mortar. And this would be the master. And this is where there's some grout missing out of the tile work. There's a little space there. Yeah, there's another spot right here where the grout's not quite complete. This one's got screen. So I don't see any indicator that there is a window behind the desk. There's nothing outside that would indicate it either. This opens into a bit of the crawl space. I'm going to look down there in just a little bit because we cannot find the wellhead. So I'm wondering if it's in the crawl space. So I'm going to have to dig in there and find out. The in-floor hot water here in the garage sprung a leak, so they just closed it off. They did not fix it. You can see here there's a hookup for a washer dryer or a sink. There's also the hookup for the washer and dryer in the basement. This has its own thermostat out here, but again, the heat's turned off. This is the thermostat for the rest of the house. There. Oh shoot, your parents left the paperwork. Laundry room area. And there's your laundry room area. It's all stubbed off. I would probably do that somewhere else, but not sure where else. So here on the roof, there's a spot where it looks like the ice ripped a portion off, so that's just got to be redone. It appears some big ice chunks come off of this roof. This board is not rotted at all, and it's broken. You'd probably want heat tape around the ends to help prevent that from happening, help keep the ice from building up. And where you got wood decking below, you want gutters, because otherwise it's not so bad here, but you can kind of see where the water coming off the roof is starting to rot the wood. And this area doesn't get a whole lot of sun on this side. As you can see, it's midday and we're shady. So this deck was stained with this lighter color, and rather than restain it, they just went through and power washed it all. It's a cheaper way of making it look presentable. You can see here, there's one board that's got a little bit of rot. It actually feels really solid. But you can see, looking at the deck, where the water coming off the roof is impacting the deck and causing a little premature rot. So that's going to need gutters. Gutters will fix that. This is the hatch to the basement. And you can see part of the problem with the rot at the bottom of the door is the water splashing from off the roof. So again, gutters. This area is pretty bad. Same thing on the other side. Actually still feels really solid, but because it's in a corner, it's not getting a whole lot of sunlight. So this part isn't bad. It doesn't have water coming off the roof. You can see this probably gets almost no sunlight, so you're getting a real deterioration here around the door frame here in the bottom. And again, you need gutters. That hatch goes down into a crawl space. So, like I mentioned, we have not been able to find a wellhead. You can see here where the septic is very clearly marked off. And you can see where someone was digging here. And you can see somebody dug here. And that somebody dug here. Now also, Miss Dig has marked out all the power lines. So you got power line there. The water line up by the road is marked. So clearly somebody has been digging here, and they did it thoughtfully and purposefully. So I don't understand how the list agent doesn't know what's going on with the septic or why or how. So this is all very weird. But your septic is clearly marked, and you're going to want to get that checked. This thing needs new shingles, and they're gone. They've already been leaking a little bit. This stuff is just crap, and I don't know why it's here. It doesn't belong. So the particle board is all good. I mean, there's some stains from the leaking, but it's not shot. There's that portion maybe a little bit bad there. So just new shingles will fix all that. This is very well built, very solidly built. Shouldn't have any problem putting a hot tub in here. Looks like there was a fireplace in here at one point. So you got two lots. So lot 1 has the house, lot 2 has the garage, and then back here you've got this lot with the garden, and you've got this lot, and this goes out to the other road. I'm sure this was just a garden shed or something at some point. And this garage is fine. I mean, it is what it is. These are, inexpensive kits. They're meant to be cheap. They're not meant to last forever. You're not hiding here in a tornado. But it's dry. And this is a very well built concrete pad. It's even got a drain in the middle. So if time ever came that you were getting rid of this, you could build something else on this pad easy. You can see where the metal frame is bolted into the concrete. These are just basic and cheap. So I'm going to do a little more work, see if I can find a well, but we'll see. All right, have fun.